Hey, what's going on guys, Impulse here and welcome back to another top 5 list. This list will consist of my top 5 Pokemon from this specific typing on this list. The Pokemon on this list are based on their stats, their design, how I use them in gameplay and because of the anime as well. Before we go any further, I want to point out that only a Pokemon's primary typing counts. So taking the Dark type list as an example and Houndoom as the Pokemon, we can see that Houndoom is a primary Dark type, which means it's eligible for the list. Whereas Incineroar is a secondary Dark type, which means it's not eligible for the Dark list. Also, something else to note is that I won't be adding Flying type Pokemon to this list. Since most Flying Pokemon have Flying type as their secondary typing, I'm going to give them their own special video. So with the basics covered and the top 5 of my other typings in a playlist down below, let's get into today's video. And of course, if you're a new viewer and you enjoy the video, don't forget to meaty and mash those like, share and subscribe buttons. So as I said, I can only use the primary typings in this video and that makes fighting types quite difficult for me. There are a lot of fighting types I like, but their primary types are not fighting, so it made picking these 5 quite troublesome for me. Nevertheless, I've given it my best shot and I'm starting out with Hitmonchan in number 5. The reason I'm picking this one is for nostalgia reasons, I guess, because when I think back, it is the Pokemon that I chose at the gym where you got to pick either Hitmonchan or Hitmonlee. I can't remember which city that was in, maybe Saffron in blue and red version. But yeah, I'm sure you guys know which one I'm talking about. Back then, Hitmonchan was a pretty good Pokemon, but obviously as time's gone on, more stronger Pokemon have come out and he's dropped more and more. And yeah, he's not very good now, unfortunately. I think if they gave it a Mega or a boost in its stats in some way, like they did with some of the older stuff like Dugtrio and stuff got a boost for when their Alolan forms came out, then I think it would be seen a lot more in play. Next up we've got Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr's not a very good looking Pokemon, but what it loses in appearance it makes up in competitive capabilities. This thing's very bulky, has a very high attack stat and it's able to put out a lot of damage. On top of that, it's got 2 great abilities in Sheer Force and Guts, so there's not really much you can do wrong with this. Stick an Assault Vest on it and it's ready to go. It has a pretty decent move pool, so if you want to throw something on it that people won't expect, it can often go down pretty well. Although standard sets also do a good amount of work. I don't think I was really a fan of this in the anime, but on the competitive scene it was kind of a monster, so that's why it's making it onto this list. Speaking of monsters, in this spot is Machamp. Machamp's the OG fighting type, and although it's been around forever, it's withstood the test of time. It has a lot of the same strengths as Conkeldurr, but it also has the opportunity to use the ability No Guard, which is a very strong ability that prevents moves from missing. Pair that up with Dynamic Punch and you're set for a high damaging move that causes confusion. Unfortunately, confusion has been nerfed slightly in 7th gen, but even still, it's still a cool Pokemon. And it's definitely up there for me on this list. In second place for me is Lucario. I've always been a fan of Lucario ever since I saw it in the movie that explained auras a lot more. I thought that the amount of detail they put into the movie about the aspects of the Pokemon were pretty good, and on top of that it's obviously very good for competitive play. It's got access to one of the most powerful Mega Evolutions, and yeah, because of that it's in the Uber category. It can put out a lot of damage and yeah, sweep teams pretty easily. Putting the Mega aside though, I think I prefer the normal form of it. Just the whole thing about the auras and such were what really hooked me on this Pokemon. So yeah, moving on to spot number 1. So in the first place spot is one that's not going to be expected by I don't think anyone, and that Pokemon is Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan's been one of my favourite fighting types forever, ever since it came out. It looks really awesome, I like the aspect of breakdancing, the fact that it spins on its head, I just think it's really cool. On top of that, in the anime, it sounds really awesome with its little Hitmonchan! And yeah, it's got a lot of cool moves, and I just overall think it's great. Just look at it, I don't think I need to justify it anymore, right? Right. So that's going to cover it for today's video. As always, I'll leave some more videos in a playlist down in the description for you guys to check out. But if you don't want to do that, why don't you check out one of the videos on the end screen card. Thanks for watching the video all the way to the end, and if you did enjoy it or learn something useful, don't forget to meet and mash that like, share and subscribe buttons, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Laters!